Section 1 of the New York Cake Book, 50 Recipes by a Famous New York Chef. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by Larry Wilson. The New York Cake Book by Anonymous. General Directions for Making Cake. It is absolutely essential to the making of a good cake that the material should be good. The flour must be white and dry, and carefully sifted before using. The sugar white and free from lumps. The eggs above suspicion. The butter sweet and fresh, and the milk whole or unskimmed. It is hardly less important that the measuring and weighing should be accurate throughout, and that each step in the process of mixing should be rightly taken. The flour, as we have said, should be sifted before measuring, and if damp, dried thoroughly. The eggs should be beaten separately, the whites in a cool room till they are solid enough to slice. The milk may be used either sour or sweet, but the two must never be mixed. Sour milk makes spongy cake. Sweet makes it more solid. The soda should be thoroughly dissolved in hot water and strained before it is stirred into cake. Currants should be carefully rinsed, rubbed in a dry cloth to get out the stems, and then spread on platters and dried before being used. Almonds should be blanched by pouring boiling water on them. Drain and repeat the process, and they will readily pop from the skin. When blanched, dry and then pound them fine with a few drops of milk to prevent their oiling. All kinds of cake that are made without yeast are better for being stirred till just before they are baked. When ready to mix, stir the butter to a cream, then add the sugar, and stir till white. Next beat the yolks of the eggs, strain them and add them to the sugar and butter. Meantime another person should beat the whites to a stiff froth and put them in. Then add the spices and flour, and last of all the fruit, if any be used. Earthenware is best to mix in, and a wooden spoon should be used. Butter the cake pans well. The cake will be less liable to burn if the pans are lined with white buttered paper. The oven should be quick, but not furiously hot. If it be slow, the cake will not rise properly. The cake must not, while baking, be moved or changed from one oven to another. And if it browns too rapidly on top, cover it over with a piece of white buttered paper. To find out when it is baked enough, half open the oven door, and try the center of the loaf with a clean brown straw. If the cake is baked, the straw will come out dry. If not, a little of the batter will adhere to it, in which case the door of the oven must be closed immediately, or the cake will fall. Cake that is to be frosted should be baked in pans with sides perpendicular instead of slanting. It should be iced as soon as taken from the oven, to ensure its drying quickly and smoothly. As soon as the cake is cool, wrap it in a thick white cloth, and keep it in a covered earthen jar or tight tin box. Do not cut more at a time than is likely to be used. End of section 1.
Section 2 of the New York Cake Book. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. The New York Cake Book by Anonymous. Part 2. Almond Cake. Take sugar, 1 pound, butter, 1/4 pound, flour, 1 pound, eggs, 8, almonds, 1 coffee cupful, essence of bitter almonds, 1/2 teaspoonful. Stir 1 pound of powdered sugar and 1/4 pound of butter into a cream. Beat up the 8 eggs, the whites and yolks separately, and add the yolks to the butter and sugar. Stir together very thoroughly, then put in 1 pound of flour. Add a coffee cupful of sweet almonds blanched, and beat to a smooth paste with 1/2 teaspoonful of essence of bitter almond. Along with the almonds, stir in the whites of the eggs. Bake in a quick oven and frost as soon as it is done. Season the icing with rose water. Caraway Cakes. Take flour, 2 quarts, white sugar, 1 quart, butter, 1 teacupful, caraway seeds, half a gill, essence of lemon, 1 teaspoonful, milk to make a dough that may be rolled. Stir 1 quart of powdered white sugar and a teacupful of butter to a cream. Add 2 quarts of flour, half a gill of caraway seed, and a teaspoonful of essence of lemon. Make into a dough, roll out into a sheet half an inch thick, cut into square cakes and crimp the edges. Then bake in a tolerably quick oven. Chocolate cake. Take flour, 3 1/2 cupfuls, butter, 1 cupful, sugar, 2 cupfuls, eggs, 5, milk, 1 cupful, cream tartare, 1 teaspoonful, soda, half a teaspoonful, fine white sugar, 1 1/2 cupfuls, grated chocolate, 3 tablespoonfuls, essence of vanilla, 1 teaspoonful. Mix 1 cup of butter, 2 cups of sugar, yolks of 5 eggs and whites of 2, 3 1/2 cups of flour, into which 1 teaspoonful of cream tartare has been stirred, 1 cup of milk, and half a teaspoonful of soda. Bake in jelly cake tins and use the following mixture for spreading between layers and on top: 1 1/2 cups of sugar, the remaining whites of 3 eggs, 3 tablespoonfuls of grated chocolate, and 1 teaspoonful of essence of vanilla. Beat well. Coconut cake. Recipe number 1. Take flour, 4 cupfuls, sugar, 3 cupfuls, butter, 1 cupful, soda, 1 teaspoonful, cream tartare, 2 teaspoonfuls, grated coconut, 3 cupfuls, eggs, whites of 3, lemon, grated rind of 1. Mix together 3 cupfuls of sugar, 1 of butter, the whites of 3 eggs, a level teaspoon of soda, 4 cupfuls of flour, and 2 teaspoonfuls of cream tartare sifted into it, 3 cupfuls of grated coconut, the grated rind of 1 lemon, and a gill of milk. Stir thoroughly and bake in a moderate oven. Coconut cake. Recipe number 2. Sponge. Take flour, 1/2 pint, grated coconut, 1, white sugar, 1 pint, eggs, 6, salt, 1/2 teaspoonful. Stir together a pint of fine white sugar and the yolks of 6 eggs, beaten and strained. Add 1 coconut, grated, and half a teaspoonful of salt and the juice of half a fresh lemon. Just before the cake is put into the oven, add the whites of 6 eggs beaten up stiff, and then stir in half a pint of flour. Stir the flour in only just enough to mix it, then put the cake in pans lined with buttered paper and bake in a quick oven. Do not let the top harden quickly. If there is danger of it, cover with buttered paper. Coconut cake. Recipe number 3. Take sugar, 1 1/2 cupfuls, butter, 1/2 cupful, eggs, 3, milk, 1/2 cupful, flour, 2 cupfuls, cream tartare, 1 teaspoonful, soda, 1/4 teaspoonful, coconut, 1, fine white sugar, 1 1/2 cupfuls. Stir 1 1/2 cupfuls of sugar and half a cupful of butter into a cream. Beat up 3 eggs and add them, together with half a cupful of new milk. Then add 2 cupfuls of flour into which a teaspoonful of cream tartare and 1/4 teaspoonful of soda have been sifted. Stir together well and bake in jelly cake tins. Mix 1 coconut, grated, with its milk and 1.5 cupfuls of white sugar. Set this in the oven till the sugar melts and spread between the layers of cake. Coconut cakes. Take grated coconut, 1 pound white sugar, 1 pound eggs, whites of 6. Take a pound each of powdered white sugar and grated coconut. The brown part of the coconut should be cut off before grating it. Add the whites of half a dozen eggs beaten to a stiff froth. There should be just enough eggs to moisten a stiff paste. Drop this mixture on buttered plates in dabs the size of a 25-cent piece and several inches apart, and bake immediately in a moderately warm oven, watching constantly to keep them from scorching. Coffee cake. Take flour, 2 1/2 pounds, brown sugar, 9 ounces, butter, 14 ounces, molasses, 1 pint, cold strong coffee, 1 pint, stoned raisins cut into 2 1/2 pounds, citron, 1 pound, mace, cinnamon, and ginger, 2 teaspoonfuls each, cloves and allspice, 1 teaspoonful each, soda dissolved in a little of the coffee, 2 even teaspoonfuls. Rub the sugar and butter together. Add the molasses, coffee, and flour alternately, leaving a pint of flour in which to rub the fruit, then the soda, and lastly the fruit. Bake slowly about an hour. Cornstarch cake. Take sugar, 2 cupfuls, butter, 1 cupful, milk, 1 cupful, eggs, 3, soda, 1 teaspoonful, flour, 2 cupfuls, cornstarch, 1 cupful, cream tartare, 2 teaspoonsful. Stir 2 cupfuls of sugar and 1 of butter to a cream. Add 1 cup of milk, 3 eggs, whites and yolks beaten separately, and 1 teaspoonful of soda dissolved in a little hot water. Then stir in 2 cupfuls of flour and 1 cupful of cornstarch, with 2 teaspoonfuls of cream tartare sifted through them. Bake in small tins and eat fresh. Cream cake. Recipe number 1. Take sugar, 3/4 pound, butter, 1/2 pound, eggs, 7, flour, 1 1/2 pounds, nutmeg, 1, cream, 1/2 pint. Take half a pound of butter and 3/4 of a pound of sugar and stir together till very white. Beat 7 eggs, the whites and yolks separately, and stir them into the cake. Then add a grated nutmeg and 1.5 pounds of sifted flour. Just before putting it in the pans, add half a pint of sweet cream and 1 pound of seeded raisins. Bake in a quick oven. End of section 2. Read by Trish Rutter, San Diego, August 8th, 2021. Section 3 of the New York Cake Book. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. The New York Cake Book by Anonymous. Section 3. Cream cake. Recipe number 2. Without eggs. Take sugar, 3 cupfuls, butter, 1 cupful, flour, 4 cupfuls, soda, 1 1/2 teaspoonfuls, essence of lemon, 1 teaspoonful, nutmeg, 1/2 grated, sour cream, 2 cupfuls. Stir 3 cups of sugar and 1 of butter together thoroughly. Add 2 cupfuls of sour cream, 1 1/2 teaspoonfuls of soda dissolved in a little cold water, a teaspoonful of essence of lemon, and half a grated nutmeg. Pour all of this into the middle of 4 cupfuls of flour. Mix together quickly and thoroughly and bake at once. Cupcake. Recipe number 1. Take sugar, 2 cupfuls, butter, 1 cupful, eggs, 4, flour, 3 cupfuls, baking powder, 1 teaspoonful, essence of almond to taste. Beat 1 cup of butter and 2 of sugar to cream. Then add 4 eggs, whites and yolks beaten separately, and 3 cupfuls of flour. Flavor with almond to taste, and at last, just before putting in the oven, Add 1 teaspoonful of baking powder. Bake in a quick oven, either in cups or pans. Cupcake, recipe number 2. Take sugar, 3 teacupfuls, butter, 1 1/2 cupfuls, eggs, 3, flour, 6 cupfuls, essence of lemon or rose water to taste, soda, 1 teaspoonful, milk, 1 cupful. Stir 3 teacupfuls of sugar and 1 1/2 of butter to a cream. Beat 3 eggs to a froth and stir them into the sugar and butter, together with 3 cupfuls of flour. Flavor to taste with essence of lemon or rose water. Dissolve a teaspoonful of soda into a cupful of milk. Strain it into the cake, and then add 3 more cupfuls of flour with 3 teaspoonfuls of cream tartare. Mix well and bake immediately, either in cups or pans. Currant cake. Take flour, 1 pound, butter, 1/2 pound, sugar, 3/4 pound, currants, 1/2 pound, eggs, 4, cinnamon, 1 teaspoonful, soda, 1/2 teaspoonful, 1/2 a lemon. Mix together 1 pound of flour, 1/2 pound of butter, 3/4 of a pound of sugar, 1/2 pound of currants well washed, 4 eggs, 1 teaspoonful of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoonful of soda dissolved in hot water, 1/2 a lemon squeezed and the rind grated. Line the bake pans with buttered paper. Drop the mixture upon it and bake quickly. Delicate cake. Take butter, 1 cupful, sugar, 2 cupfuls, milk, 1 cupful, eggs, whites of 5, cream tartare, 1 teaspoonful, soda, 1/2 teaspoonful, flour, 3 cupfuls. Stir 1 cupful of butter and 2 of sugar to a cream. Add 1 cupful of milk, the whites of 5 eggs, 1 teaspoonful of cream tartare, 1/2 teaspoonful of soda, and 3 cupfuls of sifted flour. The yolks of the eggs can be used for other purposes. Fancy cakes. Take sugar, 1/2 pound, eggs, 4, flour, 1/2 pound, essence of lemon, 1 teaspoonful. Beat 1/2 pound of sugar and the yolks of 4 eggs together. Add 1/2 pound of flour and beat up thoroughly. Then add a teaspoonful of essence of lemon and the whites of the eggs beaten to a stiff froth. Bake in small patties and put a sugar plum on top of each. Fruit cake. Take white sugar, 1 pound, butter, 3/4 pound, eggs, 7, flour, 1 pound, citron, 1/4 pound, nutmeg, 1 teaspoonful, cinnamon, 1 teaspoonful, currants, 1/2 pound, raisins, 1/2 pound. Beat 1 pound of fine white sugar and 3/4 of a pound of butter to a cream. Add the yolks of 7 eggs, beaten to a froth, then the whites of the eggs, whipped to a froth, and 1/4 of a pound of citron, 1 teaspoonful of nutmeg, 1 of cinnamon, and 1 pound of flour. Stir together and add 1/2 pound of currants washed carefully and dredged, and 1/2 pound of raisins, seeded and chopped. Mix thoroughly and bake in a moderately quick oven. Gingerbread, recipe number 1. Take sugar, 1/2 pound, butter, 1/2 pound, flour, 2 pounds, caraway seed, 1 ounce, ground ginger, 1 ounce, coriander seed, 1/2 ounce, molasses, 1 3/4 pounds. Rub together 1/2 pound of fine sugar and 1/2 pound of butter. Then add 2 pounds of flour, well dried by the fire, 1 ounce of caraway seed, 1 ounce of ground ginger, and 1/2 ounce of coriander seed. Mix them with 1 3/4 pounds of molasses. Roll thin and bake in a quick oven. Gingerbread, recipe number 2. Fleming. Take butter and sugar, 1/4 pound each, molasses, 1/2 pint, eggs, 4, flour, 1 1/2 pints, ground ginger, 1 tablespoonful, cinnamon, 1 teaspoonful, soda, 1 teaspoonful. Stir together 1/4 pound each of butter and brown sugar. Add 1/2 pint of molasses. Beat 4 eggs to a froth and stir them into the mixture alternately with a scant 1.5 pints of flour. Add a heaping tablespoonful of ground ginger and a teaspoonful of powdered cinnamon. Stir together well. Dissolve a level teaspoonful of soda in 2 tablespoonfuls of warm water and stir this in last. Put the mixture into a buttered tin pan. Set it once in brisk, not too hot oven and bake well. Test with a straw. Gingerbread recipe number 3. Hard. Take molasses, 1 pint, butter, 1/2 pound, sour milk, 1 teacupful, ground ginger, 2 tablespoonsful, soda, 1 tablespoonful, cloves, 1 tablespoonful, lemon, rind of 1, flour. Mix 1 pint of molasses, 1/2 pound of butter, 1 cupful of sour milk, 2 tablespoonfuls of ginger, 1 tablespoonful of soda, and 1 tablespoonful of cloves, the rind of 1 lemon grated, and flour enough to make a stiff paste. Butter the tin sheets, roll the dough on them, sprinkle lightly with sugar as thin as possible, and bake in a quick oven. End of section 3. Read by Trish Rutter, San Diego, August 14th, 2021.
Section 4 of the New York Cake Book. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by Betty B. The New York Cake Book by Anonymous. Part 4. Gingerbread Recipe Number 4, Soft. Take butter, 1 teacupful melted, molasses, 1 pint, ground ginger, 1 tablespoonful, flour, 1 pint, eggs, 2, soda, 2 teaspoonfuls, sour milk, 1/2 pint, flour, lemon peel. Mix a teacupful of melted butter with a pint of molasses, a tablespoonful of ground ginger, a pint of flour, and 2 beaten eggs. A fresh lemon peel cut into strips may be added. Mix 2 teaspoonfuls of soda in 1/2 pint of sour milk. Stir it into the cake and add flour enough to make soft sponge. Bake in deep pans in a moderately quick oven, about ½ an hour. Gingerbread, recipe number 5, spiced. Take sugar, 1 pound, butter, 1/2 pound, eggs, 5, milk, 3 tablespoonfuls, cream tartar, 1 teaspoonful, soda, 1/2 teaspoonful, ground ginger, 1 tablespoonful, flour, 1 pound, cloves, nutmeg, cinnamon, teaspoonful each. Stir 1 pound of sugar and 1/2 pound of butter to a cream. Add 5 eggs beaten to a froth, 3 tablespoonfuls of sweet milk, 1 teaspoonful of cream tartar, 1/2 teaspoonful of soda dissolved in a little hot water, a heaping tablespoonful of ground ginger, and 1 teaspoonful each of cloves, nutmeg, and cinnamon. Mix together well and add 1 pound of flour. This amount will make 2 good-sized loaves. Gingerbread, recipe number 6, sponge. Take molasses, 1 cupful, butter, 1/2 cupful, ginger, 1 tablespoonful, sour milk, 1 cupful, soda, 1 1/2 teaspoonfuls, flour. Mix a cupful of molasses, 1/2 cupful of butter, and 1 tablespoonful of ginger, and set it on the fire till well warmed. Then add 1 cupful of sour milk, 1 teaspoonful and 1/2 of soda, and enough flour to make a stiff sponge. Bake at once in a rather quick oven. Ginger snaps, recipe number 1. Take butter, 1/2 pound, brown sugar, 1/4 pound, molasses, 1 pint, ginger, 2 tablespoonfuls, flour, 1 quart, soda, 2 teaspoonfuls, milk, 1 wineglassful. Take 1/2 pound of butter, melt and mix with 1/4 pound of brown sugar, a pint of molasses, 2 tablespoonfuls of ground ginger, and a quart of flour. Dissolve 2 teaspoonfuls of soda in a wineglass of milk. Strain it into the cake and add sufficient flour to make a soft dough. Roll it out thin, cut into small cakes, and bake them in a quick oven. Ginger Snaps Recipe No. 2. Take butter, 1 cupful, sugar, 1 cupful, molasses, 1 cupful, water, 1/2 cupful, ground ginger, cinnamon, and cloves, 1 tablespoonful each, soda, 1 teaspoonful, flour. Mix a cupful of butter with 1 heaping cupful of sugar, 1 cupful of molasses, 1/2 cupful of cold water, 1 tablespoonful each ground ginger and cinnamon, 1 teaspoonful of cloves, 1 of soda dissolved in hot water, and add enough flour to make a pretty stiff dough. Roll out thin and bake at once. Golden Cake. Take white sugar 1 pound, butter 3/4 pound, eggs, yolks of 16, flour 2 pounds, milk 1 cupful, lemon 1, mace, baking powder. Mix together 1 pound of fine white sugar, 3/4 of a pound of butter, the yolks of 16 eggs, the rind and juice of 1 lemon, 1 cupful of milk, and 2 pounds of flour, with 2 teaspoonfuls of baking powder. Season to taste with mace. Bake about half an hour. Huckleberry Cake. Take sugar 1 cupful, molasses 1 cupful, milk 1 cupful, butter 1/2 cupful, cream tartar 1 1/2 teaspoonfuls, soda 1 teaspoonful, flour, huckleberries 1 pint, allspice, cinnamon, and cloves. Beat together 1 cup of sugar, 1 of molasses, 1 of milk, 1/2 a cup of butter, 1 teaspoonful and 1/2 of cream tartar, 1 teaspoonful of soda dissolved in a little warm water. Stir in enough flour to make a soft sponge, and then add 1 pint of huckleberries, washed and dredged. Season to taste with allspice, cinnamon, and cloves. Jelly Cake. Recipe No. 1. Take sugar 1 pound, butter 1/2 pound, milk 1 cupful, eggs 6, cream tartar 1 teaspoonful, soda 1/2 teaspoonful, flour 1 pound jelly. Stir to a light cream 1 pound of sugar and 1/2 pound of butter. Add 1 cupful of milk, 6 eggs beaten to a froth, 1 teaspoonful of cream tartar, 1/2 a teaspoonful of soda, and 1 pound of flour. Spread over buttered tins to the thickness of 1/4 of an inch. Bake till brown, and when done pile them on a plate and put a layer of jelly between. Jelly Cake. Recipe No. 2. Take sugar 1/2 pound, butter 6 ounces, eggs 8, flour 1 pound, lemon 1, jelly. Stir together till white 1/2 a pound of rolled sugar and 6 ounces of butter. Beat 8 eggs to a froth, stir them into the butter and sugar, and add a pound of flour. Add the juice and grated rind of a fresh lemon. Turn this mixture into scalloped tin plates that have been well buttered. Bake and arrange as in No. 1. Lady Cake. Take sugar 1 pound, butter 6 ounces, eggs, whites of 12, flour 3/4 pound, lemon or bitter almond. Stir together 1 pound of sugar and 6 ounces of butter. Add the whites of 12 eggs whipped to a froth and 3/4 of a pound of flour. Flavor with bitter almond or with the juice and grated rind of 1 lemon. Bake in square shallow tins and flavor the frosting with vanilla. End of section 4. Section 5 of the New York Cake Book. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by Betty B. The New York Cake Book by Anonymous. Part 5. Lemon Cake. Recipe No. 1. Take sugar 3 cupfuls, butter 1 cupful, milk 1 cupful, eggs 5, soda 1 teaspoonful, flour 4 cupfuls, lemons 2. Beat 3 cups of sugar and 1 of butter to a light cream. Add 1 cup of milk, 5 eggs beaten to a froth, 1 teaspoonful of soda, 4 cups of flour, and the juice and grated rind of 2 lemons. Beat together thoroughly and bake in a moderately quick oven. Lemon Cake. Recipe No. 2. Take sugar 1 pound, butter, 3/4 pound, eggs, 7, flour, 1 pound, lemons, 2, currants, 1 1/2 teacupfuls. Beat 1 pound of sugar and 3/4 of a pound of butter to a cream. Add the yolks of 7 eggs beaten to a froth and strained. Whip the whites up stiff and stir them in with 1 pound of dried flour, the juice of 1 lemon and the peel of 2 cut into strips, and a cupful and a half of currants. The currants may be left out if desired. Bake in a moderately quick oven. Loaf cake. Take brown sugar 1 pound, butter 3/4 pound, sour milk 1 pint, molasses 1 pint, eggs 5, soda 2 teaspoonfuls, flour 3 pounds, currants 2 pounds, raisins seeded 1 pound, cloves, allspice and cinnamon 1 teaspoonful each, nutmeg 1 grated. Beat together a pound of brown sugar and 3/4 of a pound of butter. Add a pint of sour milk, a pint of molasses, 5 eggs beaten to a froth, 2 teaspoonfuls of soda, 1 teaspoonful each of cloves, allspice and cinnamon, 1 grated nutmeg, and 3 pounds of flour. Mix well and then stir in 2 pounds of currants, carefully washed, and 1 pound of seeded raisins. Bake in a moderately quick oven. Macaroons. Almond. Take almonds 1/2 pound, rose water 1 tablespoonful, eggs, whites of 3, white sugar powdered 1/2 pound. Soak the almonds in boiling hot water till the skin will rub off easily. Wipe them dry, removing the skins, and pound to a paste with the rose water. Beat the whites of the eggs to a stiff froth, stir the sugar in gradually, and then add the almonds. When the almonds are well mixed in, drop the mixture by spoonfuls upon buttered baking plates or letter paper, several inches apart. Sift sugar on them and bake to a light brown in a slow oven. It will take 15 to 20 minutes. If desired, substitute an ounce or more of bitter almonds for the sweet. Macaroons. Coconut. Rasp a fresh coconut, spread it on a dish or tin, and let it dry gradually for 2 days. Add to it double its weight of fine sifted sugar and the whites of 8 eggs beaten to a stiff froth to the pound. Roll the mixture into small balls, place them on a buttered tin, and bake in a very slow oven 20 minutes. Move them from the tin while they are warm, and store in a perfectly dry canister as soon as cold. Macaroons Filbert. Heat 1/4 of a pound of filbert meats till the skin will rub off. When cold, pound to a paste with a little white of egg. Add 1/4 of a pound of sifted white sugar and the white of 1 egg. Mix well and bake on buttered tins. Mountain cake. Mix together 3/4 of a pound of sugar, 1/2 a pound of butter, 1 pound of flour, the yolks of 6 eggs, and whites of 4 beaten to a froth, 1 teacupful of milk, 1 teaspoonful of soda, and 2 of cream tartar. Flavor with vanilla. For a jelly to put over the top, beat together the whites of eggs left over, 1 pound of sugar, and a cupful of currant jelly. Nut cake. Take sugar, 1 1/2 cupfuls, butter, 1/2 cupful, eggs 3, milk, 1/2 cupful, flour, 2 1/2 cupfuls, cream tartar, 1 teaspoonful, soda, 1/2 teaspoonful, hickory nut meats or any other kind, 1 cupful. Beat together 1 1/2 cupfuls of coffee sugar, 1/2 a cupful of butter, and 3 eggs to a light froth. Add alternately the 1/2 cup of milk in which the soda has been dissolved, and the 2 1/2 cups of flour with which the cream tartar has been sifted. Add the 1/2 cupful of nuts and bake in 1 loaf. Orange cake. Take flour 1 pound, lacking 3 even tablespoonfuls, sugar 1 pound, butter 1/4 pound, sweet milk 1/2 pint, baking powder 1 1/2 even tablespoonfuls, eggs 5. Cream the butter with the sugar, adding enough of the milk to make them mix easily. Add the yolks of the eggs and beat well. Then add the milk, the beaten whites of the eggs, and the flour in which the baking powder has been well mixed. Spread 1/3 of an inch deep in jelly cake pans and bake in a very quick oven. Make this icing: whites of 3 eggs beaten stiff, 1 pound and 1/4 of powdered sugar, grated rind, soft pulp, and juice of 2 large sour oranges and 1 lemon. Add sugar for outside icing. Plum cake. Take flour, 1½ pounds, butter, 1 pound, sugar, 1 pound, currants, 1/2 pound, candied citron, 1/2 pound, orange peel, 1/2 pound, sweet almonds, 2 ounces, allspice, 1/2 ounce, cinnamon, 1/2 ounce, eggs, 10. Beat the sugar and butter to a light cream. Add the allspice and pounded cinnamon. Work in the yolks of the eggs 2 at a time. Whip the whites till they are highly frothed, and work them in, keeping the paste warm, or it may become heavy. Cut the citron and orange peel into strips. Mix them with the currants, previously well washed and dried before the fire, and also with the almonds. Stir in by degrees the flour. Beat the whole together thoroughly and bake 1½ hours in a moderate oven. There should be a couple of sheets of paper both under and over the cake. End of section 5. Section 6 of the New York Cake Book. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by Betty B. The New York Cake Book by Anonymous. Part 6. Pound Cake. Recipe number 1. Take white sugar, 1 pound, butter, 3/4 pound, eggs, 8, flour, 1 pound, lemon or nutmeg. Stir 1 pound of fine white sugar and 3/4 pound of butter to a light cream. Add 8 eggs, the whites and yolks beaten separately to a froth, and 1 pound of flour. Flavor to taste with lemon or nutmeg. Cover with icing as soon as done. Pound Cake. Recipe number 2. Take white sugar, 1 pound, butter, 3/4 pound, eggs, 10, flour, 1 pound, currants, 1 teacupful, mace, 1/2 teaspoonful, nutmeg, 1/2 grated. Beat a pound of fine white sugar and 3/4 pound of butter to a cream. Beat up 10 eggs, the whites and yolks separately. Add the yolks to the butter and sugar, 1/2 teaspoonful of mace, and 1/2 grated nutmeg. Mix well together and add the whites of the eggs. Stir in a pound of flour thoroughly, and then add a teacupful of currants, washed and dried. Bake in a rather quick oven. Quick Cake. Take raised bread dough, 1½ pounds, butter, 1/2 pound, sugar, 3/4 pound, eggs, 4, cinnamon, 1 teaspoonful, nutmeg, 1, milk, 1 teaspoonful, soda, 1/2 teaspoonful, raisins, seeded, 1 pound. Melt 1/2 pound of butter, and when cool, work it into 1½ pound of raised bread dough. Beat 4 eggs and 3/4 pound of rolled sugar together and mix with the dough. Add a teaspoonful of cinnamon and a grated nutmeg. Dissolve 1/2 teaspoonful of soda in a teaspoonful of milk, strain it over the dough, and work the whole with the hands for 1/4 hour. Then add a pound of seeded raisins and put it into cake pans. Let it stand in them until light before putting into the oven. Savory Cakes. Take white sugar, 1 pound, eggs, 8, flour, 1 pound, coriander seed, 2 tablespoonfuls, lemon, 1. Mix together a pound of powdered white sugar and 8 eggs, the whites and yolks beaten up separately. Beat them well together for several minutes. Then add the grated rind of a fresh lemon and half the juice, a pound of flour, and 2 tablespoonfuls of coriander seed. Drop this batter by the large spoonful upon buttered baking pans. Sift white sugar over them and bake them immediately in a quick oven. Silver Cake. Take white sugar, 1 pound, butter, 1/2 pound, eggs, whites of 10, flour, 3/4 pound, essence bitter almonds, 1 teaspoonful. Beat to a cream 1 pound of fine white sugar and 1/2 pound of butter. Add the whites of 10 eggs, whipped to a stiff froth, then add 3/4 pound of flour. Flavor with 1 teaspoonful of the essence of bitter almonds. Flavor the icing with rose water. Spice Cakes. Take butter, 1 teacupful, sugar, 1 teacupful, molasses, 1/2 teacupful, soda, 1 teaspoonful, nutmeg, 1 grated, ground ginger, cinnamon, caraway seed, coriander seed, 1 teaspoonful each. Melt a teacupful of butter and mix it with a teacupful of sugar and 1/2 teacupful of molasses. Add a teaspoonful of cinnamon, a teaspoonful of ground ginger, a grated nutmeg, and a teaspoonful each of caraway and coriander seed. Put in a teaspoonful of soda dissolved in half a teacupful of warm water. Stir in flour till stiff enough to roll out thin. Cut into cakes and bake them in a slow oven. Sponge Cake, Recipe No. 1. Take powdered sugar, 2 cupfuls, flour, 1 1/2 cupfuls, eggs, 7, lemon, the grated rind and juice of 1. Beat the yolks of the eggs with the sugar until very light. Add the rind of the lemon and the whites of the eggs beaten to a stiff froth. Sift in the flour and all the lemon juice, stirring as gently as possible. Sponge Cake, Recipe No. 2, White. Take sugar, 1 1/2 cupfuls, flour, 1 cupful, eggs, whites of 10, cream tartar, 1 teaspoonful. Take 1 1/2 cupfuls of sugar, 1 cupful of flour, the whites of 10 eggs, and 1 teaspoonful of cream tartar. Beat the eggs to a froth and stir the sugar with them. Put the cream tartar in the flour and then stir the flour with the paste lightly and quickly. Do not stir the cake after the flour is fairly in. Bake in a quick oven. Strawberry Shortcake, Recipe No. 1. Take flour, 1 quart, eggs, 4, cream or melted butter, 1 teacupful, milk, salt, 1 teaspoonful, strawberries, white sugar. Mix a quart of flour with 4 beaten eggs, a teacupful of cream or melted butter, and a teaspoonful of salt. Add enough milk to roll it out. Roll it out thin, line a shallow baking pan with part of it, put in a thick layer of nice ripe strawberries, and sprinkle in sufficient white sugar to sweeten them. Cover them with a thin layer of the crust, then add another layer of strawberries and sugar, and cover the whole with another layer of the crust. Bake in a quick oven about 25 minutes. Strawberry Shortcake, Recipe No. 2. Take a soda biscuit crust made with flour, 1 quart, soda, 1 teaspoonful, cream tartar, 2 1/2 teaspoonfuls, butter, 3 ounces, sweet milk, 3 gills. This will make 2 cakes. If the cake is to be served on a platter, roll the crust the shape and size inside the rim. If a dinner plate is to be used, make the cakes round. Roll the crust to the thickness of ½ inch, prick and bake in a quick oven. Have the strawberries cut in 2 or 3 pieces, split the cakes, lay 1/2 on the plate, butter it and put over it a thick layer of strawberries and sugar. Then replace the other half upside down, if there is to be another layer of fruit. Leave in the oven 5 to 10 minutes and serve smoking hot. White Cake. Take sugar, 2 cupfuls, butter, 1 cupful, milk, 1 cupful, eggs, whites of 6, cream tartar, 2 teaspoonfuls, soda, 1 teaspoonful, flour, 2 cupfuls, cornstarch, 1 cupful. Beat together 2 cups of sugar and 1 of butter. Add 1 cupful of sweet milk, the whites of 6 eggs whipped to a froth, 2 teaspoonfuls of cream tartar, 1 of soda, 2 cupfuls of flour, and 1 of cornstarch. Mix together thoroughly and bake in a rather quick oven. Icing for Cake, Recipe No. 1. Beat the whites of 3 eggs to a froth only, not until they are white. Add gradually 1 pound of powdered sugar while you continue beating. This may be done in 5 minutes. Flavor with lemon or vanilla. Beating the eggs stiff before the sugar is added makes the icing slow in drying. Ice the cake as soon as taken from the oven. Icing for Cake, Recipe No. 2. Place 1 pound of sugar, double refined, in a bowl with a level teaspoonful of cream tartar and the whites of 3 eggs. Beat with a wooden spoon 20 minutes, when it should be very white and light, and on letting it run from the spoon, preserve its thread-like appearance 3 or 4 minutes. Invert the cake on a mold that is smaller than the cake. Ice the sides with a broad-bladed knife. When dry, turn the cake and cover the top by slowly pouring the icing on the center of the cake. Icing for Cake, Recipe No. 3. Almond. Blanch 15 ounces of Jordan and 1 ounce of bitter almonds. Pound to a smooth, fine paste with 2 tablespoonfuls of orange flower water. Then add 1 1/4 pounds of sifted sugar and the whites of 4 eggs. Mix and pound well for 8 or 10 minutes. Take it up in a bowl. Pass a long band of paper 2 1/2 inches wide around the sides of the cake, leaving it 1 inch above the top. Then make a layer of the icing, place it in a slow oven 35 minutes without acquiring any color. It may be served as it is, or be iced over as in previous recipe. End of section 6. End of The New York Cake Book by Anonymous.